Hello, everyone, and welcome to the MSU WMA podcast. I have a special guest with me here today, MSU basketball player Paul Davis and partner at Podium Risk Management. How's it going, Paul?
Hey, Jacob, appreciate you having me, and as always, go green.
Go white. You went into the finance world. You started off as a VP of business development at Independent Innovations in Clarkston. So how did you come about that position?
Like every athlete, 100% job termination, just as a matter of when, and it's difficult to, as a kid, you give up your childhood, you do all the right things, do well in school, practice hard, you achieve your dreams by early 30s, and then you have to do it all over again. So for me, Dr. David Spencer, who is also a former Spartan, he became a business mentor of mine, and Independence Innovations was, his brand that really consultant for entrepreneurs, early stage, growth stage companies. So I learned a lot from Dr. Spencer, but he's retired. He does that for fun, and I'm ready to go full speed. And I was actually recruited by a few firms here in Michigan. But again, it was my relationship with Manny Amesqua, who is president and CEO for MassMutual here in Michigan, and also my business partner in Podium Risk Management. But it's that mentorship, it's that relationship of who's not going to be your boss, but who will hold you accountable to the bar that they know you can reach. And we're never going to find a second childhood passion. So it's, where can I take a resume full of sports accomplishments and put that into the corporate world? And, financial services, you get to utilize an amazing network. You have full control over your success and your failure. But the biggest thing for me is you're able to hit the ground running day one with never having a ceiling. And that's something that I need, because I know my work ethic and what I want to do, and I need to be rewarded for that. And it doesn't mean money, but just there can't be any restraints on my growth. I don't want to have to wait 2 years for someone to retire to move up. And all those things put together, it just made that transition probably a lot better than I could have ever hoped.
Yeah. So what designations were you looking to get when you came into the finance industry?
So, I just have my life and health, and I'll probably end up getting Series 766, maybe in a few years. But, Podium's specialty and our focus is the defensive side of planning, your life, disability, and long-term care, and unique ways to utilize that for athletes, C-suite, and business owners. It's, my little over 2 years in the industry and 14 years prior to that as a consumer of it. I don't think it's being done at that high level, very simple and non-transactional way. I think the last 4 or 5 decades, how people in my industry and my seat have approached the American public has turned people off to the word insurance. And it's really left a lot of people in not the greatest spot. And that's why you see GoFundMe being such a profitable company, but it's profitable for all the wrong reasons. So, just being able to help people control their legacy. There's a lot of things that we can't control in life, and we can't control when we're going to go, but the opportunity to control your legacy before it's too late. That's peace of mind, because insurance, our clients don't feel the benefit until something goes terribly wrong, and there's, the beneficiaries are taken care of, or things go great and they retire and they have another stream of income. Everything in between is just that peace of mind. And so educating, helping people understand the immense resources that are out there. And it's not, your insurance salesman, it's something that we're trying to get that stigma out of the industry. But, insurance and sales, just question. I gotta know everything about you and your family and why you want to do it before I even, really even have the right to ask you a question.
So if you were a student graduating college this year, and they were considering a career in management or insurance, how should they determine if it's a right career path? And what do you think, um, lured you into finance and insurance?
Yeah, it's, we live in an Amazon world where we almost can get anything, even a date, within a day by swiping on your phone. This industry is not where you're going to get rich or make it in the first year or 2 years. Sometimes that first year, somebody at McDonald's is making more money. You'll probably see your friends making more money than you in the first couple of years. But as long as you stick with it, you'll surpass any of your friends, your family, and then they're going to come to you to help them manage their financial career. So if someone has an entrepreneur mindset, if somebody wants to be a business owner, if somebody wants to make an impact on their community and help people change not only their lives, but generations to come, then this is absolutely a career to look at. We don't look at resumes when bringing people on, because it doesn't matter how much you know or can predict. If people don't trust you and you're not likable, then it doesn't matter. With technology and the resources, almost everything on paper, the data, designing, that's the easy part. Going out, building great relationships with people you don't know and building that runway to trust, that's the hard part. And that's why, 90% of first-year advisors fail out, just because they stop. And when I'm talking to our younger advisors, if you stop, that next person you would have called could be out on an island, or you're scared to, call maybe a business owner that, well, if you don't, they could be at risk. And that's where, we're really, it's a noble profession. It just has gotten a bad rap because, and deservedly so, because there's always those horror stories out there.
Yeah, so you bring up that entrepreneurial mindset. How did you start building your book of business, and how do you continue to go out and meet people in the community?
So, obviously very blessed and lucky that I grew up here and created a great name over the years from basketball here. I've really enjoyed being able to connect with the people that have supported me and Michigan State on a different level now. And there's no denying that is something unique. But if I were a first year out of college and the people I know are my family and my friends, what are those characteristics, or what in your background or your experience can you relate or connect to somebody? Usually that's somebody maybe from your hometown, maybe a business owner that went to the same college as you. connecting with individuals where you can build that um, that comfortability, a little bit of trust, but just where's that icebreaker of you're not just some random person reaching out wanting to have a call or meeting, but connecting with whether it's Spartans or Wolverines and, in your generation that are going to be in the business world for the next 20, 30 years. And we, I always say you have to start building those relationships now because the CEOs and presidents that are in their 60s and 70s, they built those and they're on their way out. Well, the city and the state of Michigan is now going to fall on the next generation to continue it going. And those relationships need to be, 3D relationships, not just connected on social media or LinkedIn. And, people relate to that and people get it. Networking is the biggest thing. And it's just building relationships, being likable, and, just doing the right thing. There's, obviously there's a lot of negative in the world, and it's pretty cool to really build an ecosystem of your own network that you'll be around for 30 years.
Yeah, so you mentioned, sometimes insurance and advisors, sales, they sometimes get a bad rap, but what do you think dictates a good advisor versus a bad advisor?
Transactional versus organic relationship. Most advisors all on commission. There's no salary, so you need to get clients in order to live. What you don't want to have happen is going into a meeting and you need this person or family to purchase or do this much so that you can hit certain goals or what's gotten the industry into the bad light is, the smile in and die on cold call, yellow pages, completely transactional. If your differentiator can be you're building relationships, you're asking questions, in that first meeting, all you're doing is talking, people will relate to that because for every person that you reach out to LinkedIn, they're getting 10 other advisors that are new, sending their scripts, trying to get a call too. So how do you differentiate yourself? And it's just the organic relationships, being top of mind and not asking for that meeting or asking, if you can have an opportunity to discuss planning until you've earned the right. If I just meet somebody, I haven't earned the right yet. So when you add value to that relationship, then you start to earn the right to have that conversation. But don't be transactional. People can see right through it. Most people don't even know what insurance is or does or the brands. The only reason they're sitting down or talking with someone is because of that relationship. And so always highlight that and build that. Don't show them these amazing widgets because it's complicated. People don't know, but what people do know is trust. And if somebody trusts you to take care of their family when they're gone, that's a lifelong relationship.
Yeah, I've always been told in our industry, it's better to be a listener than a talker, right? You're trying to really listen to what your client's telling you and to take that to heart. So is there room for more than one advisor in insurance sales, or is it mostly just one person that's controlling a person's policy?
So, for us for our clients, we can either build a table for them from, our seat with the insurance, accounting firm, attorney, or we can play the role of the insurance subject matter experts. a lot of our clients do have advisors, wealth managers, but they don't they don't do insurance, or they don't do it at that level. Because if you don't come up in the insurance industry, it's hard to make that pivot. So there are a lot of different types of insurance. You know, we focus on the life, disability, and long-term care, but a business owner would need property and casualty, employee benefits. So I have strategic partnerships with 3 of the best groups or individuals in their respective industries, that when another line or another need comes up that we don't offer, I never want to say I don't know anybody. So I always have 3 that I can introduce to a client, and then they can, decide who they want to go to. So there's always room for other advisors or insurance advisors, but not if you guys are doing the same thing. So I would also, recommend, if somebody gets into the industry, find out where your offerings stop, and then start building relationships with those individuals in those other industries, because just as much as your clients are going to need them, their clients are going to need what you do. And now you create referral source and centers of influence that, again, can be relationships for 20, 30 years.
Yeah, that's great advice for people in finance and sales both. So moving into more of, education input, have you been watching any, new shows, documentaries, podcasts? Have you been reading any new books that you think would be beneficial to our listeners?
Yeah, so I'm a big Tony Robbins guy for certain things, but I've really been listening and reading Simon Sinek. He explains and talks about servant leadership, which I think is important, but it's a finite versus infinite game. And he talks about Apple versus Microsoft. And I mean, I came from a life where every day there was a scoreboard, and creating whatever we're doing in life, but not doing everything to get to that one point or hit that year-end goal. But how do you build systems and processes for sustainable career or business long-term? And I think that can be related to any industry. For ours, I always say I don't want to have I want to have a great career. I don't want to have a great year. And that's something that it's tough to buy into. But if you have if you have your daily, weekly disciplines that, hey, there's a lot of things I can't control in this industry, but there are a few things that I can. As long as I know I hit those every week, every day, then whether it's a slow week, a big week, I know that over time I'm still on track to do what I need to do. So I think that's important too, is never just doing something to hit a quarter goal or a year-end goal, but building your process and system that is going to be sustainable for decades.
If you liked what you just heard, please like, comment, and share. MSUWMA, or Michigan State University Wealth Management Association, is a student organization part of the Eli Broad College of Business located in East Lansing, Michigan. Our mission is to inspire and educate the next generation of financial planners. Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you enjoyed it, please check out our channel on all platforms such as Spotify and Apple Podcast. And check out our social media at MSUWMA and MSUWMA.com.